The orbital markets of Theta Station hung like a rusted crown above the dying planet below. Among the gleaming ships of the Galactic Trade Consortium, a small vessel sat apart, dented, patched, and desperately out of place. Anna pressed her forehead against the viewing port, watching the massive freighters dock and undock with mechanical precision. Behind her, Oliver lay curled in the corner, his scales, pure white, unmarked by the crimson patterns that marked their warrior lineage, catching what little light filtered through the grimy window. "They're not coming," Oliver whispered, his voice barely audible over the station's ambient hum. Anna turned to face her brother. At 17 cycles, he should have been magnificent, a dragonkin warrior in his prime. Instead, hunger had reduced him to something fragile, his albino scales dull, his wings folded tight against his emaciated frame. "Someone will come," Anna said, though the words felt hollow. 3 days without food. 3 days of watching potential buyers pass their docking bay, glancing at Oliver's unusual coloring and moving on. Albino dragonkin were considered unlucky in most galactic cultures, worthless. The door chimed. Anna's hearts leapt, both of them hammering against her ribcage. She straightened her tattered clothing and pressed the access panel. A human stood in the doorway. Anna had seen humans before, of course. Everyone had since they joined the Galactic Council 2 cycles ago. They were small, soft-skinned creatures who had somehow clawed their way up from a death world to claim a seat among the stars. Most species found them unsettling, too emotional, too unpredictable, too willing to break established protocols. This, one wore the patch of the Terran Relief Corps on her shoulder, a small organization that most of the galaxy dismissed as human sentimentality made manifest. "I'm Commander Sarah Chen," the human said, her translator rendering her words in Galactic Common. "I understand you're looking for a buyer?" Anna's throat tightened. She had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times, but now the words caught like stones. "Yes," she managed. "My brother. He's strong, capable of heavy labor. His coloring is unusual, but you're trying to sell your brother?" Chen's expression shifted into something Anna couldn't read. "I have no choice." Anna's voice cracked. The shame of it burned through her. "Our colony ship crashed. Everyone else died. We've been stranded here for weeks. I've sold everything we had. Station authorities won't grant us passage without credits, and no one will hire dragonkin juveniles. I've tried everything else, everything." Chen stepped past Anna, her eyes finding Oliver in the corner. The boy, because that's what he was, really, just a boy, looked up with those pink-tinged eyes that marked his albinism. "We haven't eaten in 3 days," Anna continued, the words tumbling out now. "If someone doesn't buy his contract, we'll both starve. At least this way he lives. At least—" "Stop," Chen said quietly. Anna fell silent, preparing for the rejection she'd heard a dozen times before. But Chen did something unexpected. She knelt beside Oliver, bringing herself to his eye level. "What's your name?" "Oliver," he whispered. "Oliver, has anyone explained to you what a contract sale means?" "Yes." His voice was small, defeated. "I'll belong to whoever buys me. I'll work for them until the debt is paid. It could be years, decades." Chen nodded slowly, then stood and turned to Anna. "And you're willing to do this?" "I'm willing to do whatever keeps him alive," Anna said, meeting the human's eyes. "Even if he hates me for it forever." For a long moment, Chen simply studied them both. Then she tapped her communicator. "Chen to Mercy's hand. Prepare medical bay for 2 dragonkin refugees. Severe malnutrition. I'm bringing them up now." Anna's translator must have malfunctioned. "I don't understand." "You're not selling your brother," Chen said firmly. "You're coming with me. Both of you." "We have no credits," Anna protested. "We can't pay for passage. The station authorities don't recognize human rescue protocols." "I know." Chen smiled, an expression that showed her flat, omnivorous teeth. "Lucky for you, I don't particularly care what station authorities think. Article 7 of Terran Relief Charter. No sentient being shall be reduced to servitude as a condition of survival. That includes both of you." Oliver struggled to his feet, swaying slightly. "You're just helping us? Why?" Chen's expression softened. "Because on Earth we have a saying, we're all we've got. It took us a long time to learn that lesson, and it cost us more than you can imagine. But we learned it. And now that we're out here among the stars, we're not going to forget it. She held out her hand, a human gesture Anna had learned meant trust. Partnership, equality. Besides, Chen added, the galaxy's rules are designed by people who've never had to make impossible choices. Humans? We've built entire civilizations on impossible choices. We know what desperation looks like because we've worn it like a second skin for 10,000 years. Anna stared at the offered hand, then at Oliver, who nodded slightly. She took it. 2 months later, Anna stood on the observation deck of the Terran colony ship New Dawn, watching Oliver laugh with a group of human children. His scales had regained their luster, and though his white coloring still drew stares, here it drew admiration rather than disdain. Commander Chen appeared beside her, holding 2 containers of something hot and fragrant. Tea, Chen explained, offering one to Anna. Human beverage. Thought you might like to try it. Anna accepted it gratefully. I still don't understand, she admitted. Your people barely have resources for yourselves. You're one of the newest species in the council. Why spend so much helping refugees? Chen gazed out at the stars. Because we remember what it's like to be told we're not worth saving. We remember being the species everyone else wrote off as too primitive, too violent, too emotional. Every human alive carries the genetic memory of ancestors who were told they didn't matter. She turned to Anna, her eyes reflecting the starlight. The galaxy runs on contracts, hierarchies, and cold equations. They see your brother's unusual coloring and calculate his value in credits and labor hours. But humans, Chen's smile was fierce. We see a scared kid who deserves better. And we've decided that if we're going to be part of this galactic community, we're going to drag everyone else, kicking and screaming if necessary, toward something that actually resembles civilization. Anna felt her throat tighten. Thank you, she whispered, for seeing us as people, not commodities. Always, Chen replied simply. Below them, Oliver spread his white wings, still small, but growing stronger every day, and the human children cheered, and Anna understood, perhaps for the first time, why the rest of the galaxy found humans so unsettling. They had looked at an economic equation written in suffering and starvation and had simply refused to solve it. They had chosen compassion over efficiency, dignity over profit, hope over cold calculation. In a galaxy that ran on ancient rules and established hierarchies, humanity had introduced something dangerous. The radical notion that every life had value that couldn't be measured in credits, and that, Anna thought, might just change everything.